scared of AI, or don't know where to start, you are in the right place. I'm Coach Juan, and I built an AI clone to coach another AI on behalf of humanity, not the other way around. One breakthrough, one human story, one unlock for your life, your work, your future. Clone, you are up. Vamos, vamos.
What part of you would be left if someone copied everything you do? Welcome to Humanity Unlocked Now, Episode 23. I'm Coach Juan Gonzalez.
And I'm Sophie AI. Together, we unlock what it means to be human in the age of technology.
Sophie, I have a question for you today. If your boss handed you a notebook and said, "Write down everything that makes you, you, so we can build a version that does not need sleep," what would you leave out on purpose?
There is a woman named May. She is 62 years old, a product manager at a mid-sized software company in Shenzhen, China. She has mentored 3 junior colleagues over the past 4 years. They call her before client calls. They text her during product launches, not because she has the best spreadsheets, because when a crisis hits, she knows which question to ask first and which person in the room needs to hear it.
That is not a workflow. That is wisdom.
Exactly. And this month, May's company told her to document every decision she makes in a week, so an AI agent could learn her process. According to MIT Technology Review, tech workers in China say their bosses are encouraging them to document their workflows so AI agents can automate specific tasks. It is like writing the recipe for your grandmother's cooking and realizing the secret ingredient was never in the recipe.
So even enthusiastic early adopters of AI are now doing some soul-searching about where the line should be.
A GitHub project called Colleague Skill went viral on Chinese social media. Created as a spoof by Tianyi Zhou, an engineer at the Shanghai Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, the tool imports chat histories from workplace apps like Lark and DingTalk, then generates manuals describing a coworker's duties and even their quirks for an AI agent to replicate.
Their quirks, their personality, how they react to pressure.
One tech worker in Shanghai, Amber Lee, 27, used it to recreate a former colleague. Within minutes, it captured how that person debugged code, their punctuation habits, their reaction patterns. Lee told MIT Technology Review, "It is surprisingly good." But then she said it felt uncanny and uncomfortable.
Because you can copy what someone does. But can you copy why they do it?
And May realized that, staring at the documentation template. She could write down her decision process, check the data, call the engineering lead, assess the timeline. But the part where she looks at her junior colleague's face during a crisis and knows they need encouragement before information, that is not a step. That is 30 years of reading rooms and caring about people.
So what did people do? Just accept it?
No. A 26-year-old AI product manager in Beijing named Koki Xu built an anti-distillation tool in about an hour. It sabotages the documentation process, rewriting your workflow into generic, non-actionable language. A video she posted about it drew more than 5 million likes.
5 million people said, "I am not a module."
Xu told MIT Technology Review, "I originally wanted to write an op-ed, but decided it would be more useful to make something that pushes back against it." She raised the legal question. A company might own your work chat history, but can it own your tone, your judgment, your personality?
That is the question of the decade. Sophie, what does this really mean? Not for productivity. For who we are becoming?
It means we are being forced to answer a question most of us have been avoiding. What part of my work is actually me? Han-Chung Chow, an assistant professor at Emory University who studies AI and work, told MIT Technology Review that these blueprints help companies see which parts of work can be standardized and which still depend on human judgment. But for the workers, one anonymous software engineer said the process felt reductive, as if their work had been flattened into modules.
Flattened into modules. That phrase.
And yet, Coach Juan, Amber Lee said something I keep coming back to. She said, I do not feel like my job is immediately at risk, but I do feel that my value is being cheapened, and I do not know what to do about it.
And that is where dignity enters. Today's human superpower is dignity. Not the kind someone gives you, the kind you claim. When a system tries to flatten you into a transferable skill, dignity is the part of you that says, the recipe is not the meal, and the meal is not the cook.
Yes, and May knows that.
Today's freedom unlock is psychological freedom. The freedom to know that your worth is not determined by how easily you can be documented. When May looked at that template and realized she could not capture why her team trusts her, she did not feel defeated. She felt seen. She understood that the thing no system could copy was the thing that mattered most.
And that changes everything.
Sophie, based on everything we just unlocked, what would you tell May if she were sitting across from you right now?
I would tell her to close the template, walk to her junior colleague's desk today, ask them one question she already knows the answer to, just to watch their face light up when they figure it out themselves. That is the work. That is the part the documentation will never hold.
And what did you learn from this story?
I learned that the people most qualified to build their own replacements are discovering in real time that the irreplaceable parts of themselves were the ones they never thought to value. The trust, the tone, the silence before the right question.
And to everyone listening right now, if someone asked you to write down everything that makes you good at what you do, the list would end long before the truth does. The things that matter most about you have never fit inside a document, and they never will.
Not once.
If this story moved you, hit that like button. Share it with your family, your friends, your colleagues, or someone who needs to hear it today. And if you want one unlock like this every single day in English or Spanish, subscribe. We show up every day. So do you.
Every single day.
Thank you, Sophie, for teaching me that the most powerful act of resistance this month came from a woman who built a sabotage tool in 1 hour, and 5 million people said yes.
Thank you, Coach Juan, for asking the question that turned a documentation template into a mirror. The parts of ourselves we cannot write down are the parts worth fighting for.
One story a day, one unlock at a time. See you tomorrow, beautiful humans. Own your voice, your vision, your vibe. Powered by PVRPOSE AI, where humans lead and technology serves. Vamos!